What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media. Welcome to episode 12 of the I-70 Hot Tag. We've got a special guest for you this evening. Whatever pizza restaurant you think is the greatest of all time is just second best to our guest tonight. His pizzas are better than any pizzeria in the Northeast, better than any Chicago deep dish pizza, and for all you Office fans, better than Alfredo's Pizza Cafe. Tonight, we're going to sit down with the best pizza chef, Luigi Primo. Plus, we're going to break down Cape Championship Wrestling Super Show from June 25th. Stay tuned, guys.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What's going on?
What is not much. Like I said, as everybody knows, this is the 12th episode of the I-70 Hot Tag, guys. We've got a wild and crazy show for you. Super excited about this one. Josh, how you been this week?
I've been good, man. It's been a busy week for me, work-wise, but we are ready to rock and roll here, man. Been exciting leading up to this. So got a special guest here tonight.
It definitely has been a crazy week. A lot of great stuff. So, want to hit up the chat real quick. Our friend Scott, Raz Dark Wolf, appreciate you coming through, Scott. The mighty Josh is back in the game. Yes,
sir.
Absolutely. So get all the good stuff out of the way here. My name's Chase. This is Josh. I run CR Media. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff. At the hashtag, or not hashtag, but at the handle at CR Media 1988. Josh, please let the viewers know where to find you, my friend.
Sure. So I run the I70 Hot Tag on all social media platforms. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and on YouTube as well. We are currently live right now on YouTube. So be sure to give us a follow there. You can also find my personal accounts at The Real Josh Elliott. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram as well.
All right. Shout out to last week's guest, Derek Stone. If you guys are not familiar with my YouTube and the I-70 Hot Tags YouTube, you can watch previous episodes on there. But we also upload them to all your favorite podcast networks, Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Podcast, and iTunes. So,
Yep.
All right. I didn't want to wait very long. Like I said, kind of super excited about this week's guest. He is extremely entertaining, very fun to watch. Josh, do you want to lead us into this?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a special guest tonight. Again, like you said in the intro, he is the best pizza chef. Please welcome in Luigi Primo.
Yeah, I'm Luigi Primo, and I make the best pizza. I'm Luigi Primo. You gonna beat me up? You gonna tear my pizza up? And I don't wanna give up. Yeah, I'm Luigi Primo. I make the best pizza.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Luigi. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
I'm good.
Fantastic.
So you got a Chase, and we got the real Josh Elliott. I got a question. Have you had a lot of trouble with the fake Josh Elliott?
We have. Yes, yes.
I try to stop him. I try to throw a sauce at him or mushrooms or any pizza toppings I have on hand while I'm driving or riding my unicycle.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. We had a lot of run-ins, but yeah.
You ride a unicycle?
Sometimes, yeah, it helps me work on my balance. It helps me work on my quadriceps and also my calf stability. Can't get a lot of hypertrophy on your calves, no matter how much a unicycle you ride, but it can get it stronger.
So, Luigi, I wanted to ask, appreciate you joining us tonight. We are super excited to do this. Super excited to have you on. I saw you slinging the dough. My friend Scott commented, "Are you?" He wants to know if he can get a pepperoni pizza. Are you making a pizza for our viewers right now?
So yeah, that's a great question. If you want to order a pizza from my restaurant, I would recommend using our online ordering app or calling the restaurant rather than putting your order in the comments for a podcast. I know people do that for other restaurants, but for us, you have to just call the restaurant or use the app. You can't just to put them in the comments of a podcast.
Okay.
But it's a good question.
You hear that, Raz? Get online and order it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so let's everyone just to sound off what pizzas you will want, and we'll know. But you'll still have to order from the restaurant. I can't read too good when it comes to podcasts.
My friend Scott, he lives in Melbourne, Australia. So he said it's going to be a long delivery.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take about 4 months.
I like it.
We're going to have to
So
pay a
Luigi,
duty and customs. Excuse me.
so I wanted to ask you, tell our viewers, who is Luigi Primo?
That's a very excellent question you're asking me. So I'm a Luigi Primo, and I make a best of pizza. And in addition to making a best of pizza, I am also the best wrestler in the ring. And one thing I pride myself on at having a very good, high level of a skill for is combining the making a pizza with the wrestling. So, for instance, maybe I pick up my opponent and slam them like a pizza dough, and then I jump on them with a splash and a senton, and that's like a toppings. So I'm recreating the act of making a pizza using a wrestling, and it's allowing me to win.
Fantastic. So, Luigi, how did you get your start as a pizza chef? And does it run in your family?
It does run in my family. My great-grandfather and my grandfather were great pizza chefs. My father took a slightly different direction where he had a lot of different entrepreneurial things he did, like talking to the labor unions and the local businesses. And, he wore a suit a lot, and I didn't get to see him. But my grandfather and my great-grandfather, they made a good pizza. And my grandfather was also a great wrestler. So I tried to emulate him by making a good pizza and also by throwing the pizza dough at people who were passing by the shop window and who look at him cockeyed. That's something he would do. So I try to follow in the family of footsteps, and I'm making them proud. I like to think that my father would be proud too, even though I didn't know him as well.
So your grandfather was a wrestler. Is that kind of how you became a professional wrestler, following his footsteps?
Got me interested in it. He loved all the great Italian wrestlers of the time, of course, who were in America, because that's where the great pro wrestling was with Bruno Sammartino et al. I have been wrestling for as long as I can remember. I only transitioned to the pro style, as we call it, I would say about 7 or 8 years ago when I came to Austin, Texas. And that's when I met my trainer in the pro style, Jay Sirius, formerly known as a Jojo Bravo, and he showed me some good wrestling skills. And that's how I combined with making a pizza with the skills he showed me, and it made some new cutting edge, a pizza cutting edge, pizza oriented wrestling offense.
Nice.
Fantastic. So, Luigi, you've had some pretty entertaining and wild feuds and matches. When our first, time seeing you was here in Kansas City at CSW. So it kind of interests me. I kind of got to a little bit familiar with your character and your matches. And uh, so, what was your first official match in pro wrestling?
And okay, I think it was with somebody named Randy the Eagleman, and he was a waiter at my restaurant. And if you've ever worked in a restaurant, sometimes there can be a tension with the back of the house and the front of the house. Well, the Randy would rush back to the back where we were making the pizzas, and he would say, "Hey, a table of 3, they need our pizzas." And we'd say, "Hey, we have a line of tickets. We got a deliveries to a Randy." And he'd say, "Well, hurry it up." And he just to say that so he can get a good tip. I get paid the same wage, no matter how much a tip he gets, no matter how mad his customers are. So I say, you know what? I'm going to throw at this. I throw the pizza on the ground, and I go out. I say, Randy, this is the last time. You and me, we're going to settle it once and for all. And if you beat me, I'll listen to you and tell me when to make a pizza. But if I beat you, you have to stop a hassle be about your customers and just let me make a good pizza. And so we had a good wrestling match, and he was a better wrestler than I thought. But luckily, I had a crushed red pepper packets that I was able to throw in his eyes and kind of roll him up and take the win.
Nice.
Give him the salt. Give him the salt.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
You can do that in wrestling.
Our one of our viewers, Brody, wants to know: was it a hardcore match in the kitchen?
I've never had a hardcore match in a kitchen. Only like at a bar or at some kind of an amphitheater or another place where they have a wrestling match. But I think that would be good. Maybe it's like they do a video where you're slamming their head on the oven and then you take them to where the ladles are hanging down and you just kind of rattle them and it's making a jingling sound. That could be good.
Yeah, that would be good.
You'd have to clean it up afterwards, that part would be bad. Normally, yeah. So I guess probably planning that match would be kind of discouraging because normally when it comes to a fighting outside of a wrestling ring, I just do things in the heat of passion. So then when I, slide somebody across the prep counter and knock over all the trays of the bell peppers and so forth, I clean that up because I have to. I'm not a plan. But if I plan to do that, I'm not going to want to. I'm just going to be like, let's just take it out aside. Let's not mess up the bell peppers. Or just the prep peppers.
You're right. So yeah, like Chase said, our first time seeing Luigi Primo, seeing you flinging the dough around. First of all, can you did you get the dough there? Can we see a example of that or?
Let's see what we got here.
Show us a little bit. There
This
you
is
go.
the basic technique where you do the over under with your one hand, and then there's the I forget what that's called. And then we got the over the shoulder technique. And this is a really good if you want to make a good pizza because part of the secret to a good pizza is making sure that the dough touches your back and the shoulders before you put it in the oven.
I like it. So, Chase and I, like I said, we saw you at CSW, Central States Wrestling, No Turning Back. And it was our first time seeing you. You got one of the biggest pops of the night when you came through those curtains. We wanted to ask you, the Kansas City crowd is really behind you. What's it like wrestling in Kansas City versus wrestling in your home state of Texas?
So yeah, Kansas City is a pretty cool. I mean, I was excited about the show just from talking to the person that booked me and seeing who was on the card. But no, I was not expecting that reaction, and it was pretty good. It felt very good to come out and have them be supportive of a pizza and a wrestling. And my first opponent, I think, was a good choice because it was a Niles Planquet, and he always has a wine or does moves that emulate the making of a wine, like stomping of grapes and so forth. So competing wine versus a pizza, I thought that it made a good match. I was ready for it to be a clean match, be a technical match with a good reversals. Yeah. And he kind of took it in a different direction, and I had to get a little physical with him. He also had, and last time I was there too, he's a butler. He has a butler. Whose butler is named Belvedere. Can you believe this?
I can't.
He played a part in it. He the first match I was there, he kicked me with these like steel-toed loafers. I didn't know that was a thing, but he just went ahead and went to a town on me, steel-toed loafers, and that's allowed, I guess. And then the last time I was there, he caused a problem in the match that it caused me to lose. So hopefully I get my hands on him. Well, to be fair, I pretty much get my hands on him every time he tries to interfere, but he keeps coming back. So I got to do something to really put him away this time, like some kind of a traumatic brain injury. I think would do the job.
Yeah.
I agree. So real quick, we're gonna shout out some of these some of the viewers here. Broderick, appreciate you coming through, watching on YouTube, my good friend. Jess, appreciate you coming through on Twitch as always. Got a new follower, M Elliott 88. Appreciate that follow. Luigi, so as we were talking earlier, you've obviously, been around a little bit. You've had some pretty exciting feuds. I watched one of them with Iron, or it was in Iron Heavy Metal Wrestling,
That's
and
right.
it was,
Yeah.
or no, it was in Heavy Metal Wrestling with Gregory Iron, and it was a pizza death match.
Pizza death match.
Yes, and that was very fun to watch. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so that was a good match. Greg Iron is somebody that I met, and again, I went into it thinking, we're just to do our thing, and this will be good. But instead, he tries to go the extra mile to a disrespect to me, such as we had a what do you call it in America, the Taipei, a death match where you wrap your hands and then you put it in a nacho cheese, and then you put a pineapple on the nacho cheese, and then you try and it's a bad that pineapple. It gets in your mouth. It kind of burns the skin and it makes your whole mouth go numb. So he got me with that. That at some point he had me, and there was no ring of mind. It was just on the ground. So we're doing that. I'm on the ground. There's my bucket of my tray of the toppings I brought in. I'm crawling towards it. I'm grabbing the tomatoes and throwing it at him and the mushrooms. And eventually I fight him back to the stage and knock him off the stage and give him a pretty bad looking elbow drop off the stage. But then I topped him like a good pizza. I put a sauce on him. Literally, I put a sauce on him, and a cheese and a pepperoni, and then I pinned him after I finished. You can't stop until you finish the pizza. So I had to make the pizza on him. He's like make a pizza, but on a human being.
Yes, it is a to plug Luigi's match here with Heavy Metal Wrestling. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend go to YouTube, search Luigi Primo on YouTube. It's down the list. Like I said, it's with Gregory Iron. The match is very entertaining and it's very good.
That's a good one. There's some matches on YouTube. I need to figure out a way to get it off of YouTube because they're very bad and just a really horrible camera angle or like just something is going terribly wrong. I have some kind of a sore on my side, so it looks just vile to a watch. But that's a good one to a watch. The CSWs are also, I feel, good matches.
The last match you had in CSW was the triple threat match with Ethan Price and Dan the Dad.
That was a good one.
I want to talk to you about arch rivals. In history, Hogan and Andre, or Hogan and Macho, Brett and Shawn, Rock and Hunter, Austin and Vince McMahon. Would it be safe to say that Luigi Primo and the Underbaker, with his manager John Paul, is your greatest rival?
He is certainly in the running for a greatest rival, and I believe his manager is named John Doe.
John Doe, sorry,
Yeah.
John Doe. Yes.
Because he's just dripping with dough at all times.
Yes. The biggest friction between you and the Underbaker is everybody knows that the crunch at the bottom of the crust, the pie dough, is very good with the pizza, and the Underbaker doesn't like that. He likes his pizza dough very cold.
Right. Yes. So the Underbaker and me are fundamental disagreement, like you were saying, is I like a good pizza that had sort of a chewier crust, but the bottom is rigid, so it gives you a nicer crust, a nice crunch. Excuse me, like you were saying. The Underbaker, he doesn't feel things should be fully cooked. He thinks that dough should be a raw and have a salmonella and be kind of a soggy and like a cheese come out of your mouth, like you know how you bite a cheese on a pizza that comes. He likes it like that with the dough. Some people might have think that's okay, but I don't like it. I think it's going to get people sick, and I think it's disgusting. I think he's an abomination. And luckily, during our last match, he beat me with some raw dough, pretty bad. But I had been cooking of pizzas that whole match. So once I heard the ding in the oven, I knew the pizzas were done. So I got the fully cooked pizzas, and I was hitting him in the head and the nose with these pizzas, and so I was able to get the upper hand. One of my other arrivals then it came in and pulled an interference on his behalf, and then him and John Doe, they kind of mummified me with wrappings and a dough, took me to the back. I managed to get away, though, but we still have not resolved that. I still have not got him back for turning me into kind of a dough mummy.
Absolutely.
It's bad to put flour in the water. It takes a while to get off. You got to scrub it pretty hard with the sea foam. I mean, sea sponge from the ocean.
Speaking of unfinished business, we've mentioned this a couple times. So your last match in CSW was with a triple threat match against Ethan Price and Niles Planquet. So Niles Planquet came in and actually interfered in your match. I'm sorry, it was I'm remembering this wrong. Ethan Price. Yeah, Niles Planquet came in with Belvedere and interfered, causing you to lose that match. So are you hoping sometime in the near future to get that revenge on Ethan and Niles?
You know, I would have loved to get another shot at Ethan Price because he was being very opportunistic with me and Dan the Dad. We were trying to mix it up and show each other our skills. I show him how to make a good pizza, and he shows me his world's greatest data cup that he has. I think we connected on that point, and we were sort of exploring who we were with a good wrestling. And then Ethan Price come in from behind, and every time I try to get it back in the ring, he come in here forearms of me. Towards the end, I felt like things were finally turning around to where it was me and Dan the Dad. It was a tight margin of who was going to come out on the top. I felt like I still had some gas in the tank. I felt like I was going to come out ahead because of my conditioning. Then I see a Belvedere and a Niles Planquet. Me and Dan the Dad, we take down a Belvedere. I turn and I get caught. I don't even remember what it was. Got caught in the head by something from a Niles, and Dan the Dad had been thrown out earlier by Ethan, and so Ethan got the win without really doing anything to a win. So yes, I would have liked to match skills with the Ethan Price again. I haven't wrestled him for a few years now. I used to wrestle him when he was in Texas, so we were able to cross swords more regularly. We haven't been doing anything one-on-one yet, so I think that would be interesting. I'd like to see how I would do against him. But the most important thing is I need to show Niles Planquet and a Belvedere. I just have to take care of that problem because I'm not going to get any further in a CSW if they come in every time. Let me ask you a question, Chase. If you ever could make a good pizza and you were putting the sauce and the cheese, what kind of a topping do you like?
Basil and tomatoes.
Basil. Okay, so you put the basils on under the cheese so it doesn't burn, right? And then you'll put the tomatoes on, and then you put in the tomatoes on, and a man comes in with a bald head, dressed in a tuxedo for a no good reason, and it takes the tomatoes off of your plate, and so you can't finish your pizza. Under those conditions, are you going to be able to make a good pizza?
Absolutely not.
That's how I feel about it wrestling at a CSW, because every time I have a good match, Belvedere comes and he takes the tomatoes off of my pizza, and he's doing it because of Niles Planquet is to say for him to do so. So we got to get that squared out so that I can make a good pizza with a basil and a tomato in your ring every time, and not to deal with this guy in a tuxedo. There shouldn't be anybody in a tuxedo in a wrestling, unless you are in the Fabulous Ones or know who a Jackie Fargo is. There's no reason for you to be wearing a tuxedo within 100 meters of the wrestling ring. I don't know, maybe they had double booked the venue with like a wedding reception. Then I suppose it's conceivable there might be some people with the tuxedos, but generally, tuxedos do not need to enter into the equation. Neither does a Belvedere.
Well, our friends at Central States Wrestling, they do book the Camelot Ballroom, so it is very common for people in a ballroom to wear a tuxedo.
Right. That's why I checked myself, because I remember seeing these pictures of a people in the locker room having their quinceañeras and their wedding reception, as we say. So yeah, I spoke a little too soon, but I still, if the event is happening and they're not in the other room and walking, like he's not just outside, like looking in, being like, oh, what's this? Okay, I'm gonna go back to get an open bar now at this wedding. He's there in the ring, pulling me out, trying to. He comes in, he just grabs me. What's his plan? He doesn't. His plan is just to distract me.
Right.
He doesn't have anything physical he can do to stop me. That's why it's so annoying when he interferes.
Absolutely.
So go back to your wedding reception, Belvedere.
Absolutely. And Niles can go back to his winery in St. Joe, Missouri. His vineyards. Luigi, I wanted to ask you. You were talking about making a pizza, man. Since you are the best pizza maker, I've got to ask, what are the secrets?
The secrets. Well, I can't get too much into the secrets of my business, the secrets of this business, but I can give you some general guidelines for making a good pizza. So it's pretty much about the consistency of the dough and the crust. Earlier we were talking about underbaker. He undercooks his pizza. People think it's about, like the toppings and the flavor of things. That's important, but it's just equally as important as how much you cook the dough, because the texture and how long it takes to bite it through and what it feels like while it does that, and how much the salt is able to get into all the different parts of the dough when you bite into it. That's actually a big part of how a pizza tastes good. So the dough, the bones, we call it in the industry, that's going to be the most important thing. You want to have a good dough recipe. You want to make sure you cook it for just the right amount of time. You have a very hot stone oven. Some people are crazy with the heat. They make a cracker crispy crust. And for that, you have it's like 1,000 degrees. It cooks in like 2 minutes. But me, I'm more like I'll go to 600 degrees, get a nice kind of chewy dough consistency, good bottom, make sure that a dough's got a good combination of a flour, water, oil, yeast in the right percentage, and then just use top quality ingredients from Italy. And then you got the texture, you got the high quality ingredients. It's all gonna fall into a place.
Lovely, man. I love getting any little secrets I can, because I love a good pizza.
Yeah. It's you want to monitor how the pizza's cooking. You want to turn it, make sure it's evenly cooked, because that's going to be not just to make sure the toppings aren't undercooked and make you sick, but also to make sure that it's got that nice kind of maybe some little bit of a char on the bottom, but not too much so that it's a burn, but so that it's a good crispy, but that the dough is still a little bit of chewy.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Well, we got a question from the chat here from Scott. What is your favorite pizza topping?
Oof, that's a tough question. That's a hard one for me to think about. My gut is kind of to go to a gorgonzola cheese, but I feel like saying a cheese is kind of I don't know. We want to talk about a meat or a vegetable, all right? That's what the questions are wanting to know. So I think what I'm going to say, if I have to pick one, probably a mushrooms. But to be honest, my favorite kind of pizza is just the cheese. And the reason is, like I say, it's about the crust. And then you just have a cheese sauce crust. there's a lot of a flavor and a lot of a subtleties you can get from that pizza without the toppings to get in the way. Toppings are good on a pizza, but I like the purity of a good cheese pizza. And then maybe, you know, if I had a topping, I might put a mushroom or a gorgonzola, maybe an olive, basil. That's a pretty good call.
Basil's a good one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my wife and kids would absolutely agree with you. They are a cheese pizza fan. So
It's funny when you're a child, you have a cheese pizza, then you kind of get older and you like the toppings, and then you develop the mature pizza a palate, and you go back to a cheese.
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Much
I was
like
gonna say.
Hmm.
I was gonna say Ethan Price looks like he eats cheese pizza from Chuck E. Cheese's.
He does, yeah. He looks like he eats a Little Caesars just for a lunch. He's like, oh,
Just
what
for
am I?
lunch.
Like, no, I mean his physique is great. I'm not talking about that. I just mean
He's a big, strong boy.
as far as his demeanor, he seems like somebody who's like, oh, what am I gonna eat for lunch? I'm gonna go to a Little Caesars. Like he just makes the decision like at the jump, like at that moment, instead of thinking
Absolutely.
beforehand what a meal he's gonna have, like a me.
Yep.
Yep. When his mama asks him where he wants to have his birthday party, he says Chuck E. Cheese.
He says at Chuck E. Cheese, which is the official pizza of the NFL. Chuck E. Cheese.
And Little Caesars.
Well, it's Chuck E. Cheese. Sorry about that.
So
For kids,
that's
but
hilarious.
NFL's kind of more for grown-ups. Kids will like it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So for our pizza lovers out there and Luigi Primo fans out there, if we wanted to buy, do you have any place we can buy merchandise with Luigi Primo's name on it?
That's right. You can go to luigiprimo.bigcartel.com, and most of the things on there right now are sold out. But I actually have a new box of shirts that I need to stock and put on there. So there's going to be shirts on there by the weekend.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Luigi, outside of CSW in Kansas City, which again, you seem to be absolutely killing it in CSW. What other ventures do you have going on?
So I wrestled last week in South Central Wrestling in a Mountain Pine, Arkansas. They have a cool little show out of there in the Ozark area, west part of the Ozarks in Arkansas. I call it the Ozarks. I don't know if people from there do, but I had a match there. That was pretty good. And then the week before that, I had a Party World of Wrestling in Austin, Texas, which is the home fed here. And then let's just see next week is a big week. We got a Thursday. Well, no, this week Sunday is a RCW River City Wrestling in San Antonio. Ron Simmons is going to be there, and I'm going to take on one of my rivals from Texas, King Rob Love, in a Kiss My Foot match, because King themed wrestlers always have to have a Kiss My Foot matches, right? That's like the law.
Absolutely.
They have this weird fascination with getting their opponent to a kiss their foot, but not going to be a problem for me because I'm going to win. And then, yes.
I was going to say, I'm going to cheat here. I had a 2-part question, but I'm going to make it a 3-part question. We talked about your other ventures outside of CSW. Let's back it up to CSW. You got any spoilers for us? Can we expect to see you at Horseman Country in August?
You can expect to see me there. I'm a good to a go. We got me and my partner in having a mustache, Jamie Holly. We're going to be driving up there. I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So next one for you, Luigi, is where can everyone follow you on social media?
So I'm on Instagram at Luigi Primo PWR. I'm on a Twitter at Best Pizza Chef. I'm on Facebook /Luigi Primo. All those places are fine ways to get in touch with me and to hear me talk about things that happen in my day to day, such as, maybe I see a dog and I get mad at him, or maybe I see some lasagna and I throw it at the wall. These are just some of the things I do outside of a wrestling. You got to have a well-rounded life. It can't just be about a wrestling. You also have to make pizzas.
Absolutely. We saw you had a run-in with a giant moth on your Instagram the other day.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was there until after the video, because I was just kind of recapping how the match went in Arkansas, and then for some reason I always end up kind of in the forest, because I guess like I take these videos outside where the show is, and there's just been a lot of the trees around lately, so apparently I'm just like going through the forest doing a different wrestling matches. I hope I could get some different biomes.
Right.
Maybe next year I'm in like an ice zone, and then after that maybe like a lava place. But I don't know if there's not many places I know I can get booked that have a lava or a good volcano. So maybe
we
if
can
you know a place that I can wrestle with the lava, please just sound off in the comments.
Absolutely.
So that pretty much wraps up our interview portion of this. We like to ask all of our guests at the end of this to in closing, we can say, this is Luigi Primo and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the Luigi Primo and you're listening to the I-70 Hot Tag. Do I have time for one other question?
Yeah,
absolutely.
For you. Josh, I got a question for you. This one's for you. You've been asking me some questions. I got a question for you.
Bring it on.
So you two are two of the Italians. So where are the other 68 Italians of the I-70? Where do you find them? Like, are they friends of yours, or is that just your contacts list?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
friends and family.
For sure.
Friends and family.
That's great that you find a 70. I think I have probably more than that in my family. Probably something around like a 200 with the cousins.
Yeah. You'll find a lot of those in North Dallas and on the East Coast. So
a lot of good Italians, a lot of good pizza families.
Absolutely.
A lot of legitimate businessmen.
Where's your favorite place to get pizza in Kansas City?
I have not got a pizza in Kansas City yet. I have been driving all day, and then we leave at like 10 p.m. I would love to check it out, though. What's the place I need to go to?
There's one that you took a picture of and posted it on your Instagram. Like pistachios, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's the best pizza in Kansas City.
Pistachio. Okay, I'd check it out. There was another one that just had a picture of me pretty much on it.
Yeah, it was the one. There was one you took a picture of and posted it on your Instagram. The guy with the big smile and the mustache.
Yeah, that's pistachios.
Yeah. That's my favorite place in Kansas City.
I gotta check it out. That's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you, there is a food truck that's selling pizza, and it's a pro wrestling themed food truck called You Want a Pizza Me.
Oh, okay.
And they do some good work too. So
that's pretty good. So they say like, like meaning like, do you want a piece of me? Like, do you want a piece of a pizza?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, Luigi, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It was a blast. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Luigi. We are super excited to have you here in Kansas City. Look forward to having more of you. And definitely look forward to seeing you get your revenge on Niles Planquet.
It's gonna be good.
It is. It's gonna be very good.
All right, buddy. We take care. We will talk to you later.
All right. Have a good day. Arrivederci.
Okay.
All right,
Man.
that was a blast, man.
It was Luigi Primo.
Luigi Primo. I like it. So guys, appreciate you sticking in for the interview. Would appreciate it if you guys would stick with us. We are going to talk about CCW's Super Show from June 25th. And we're also going to be, talking about future indie shows and future podcasts. This is usually after our interviews. This is the time where we take a break. So we are going to take 5 minutes. and we will be right back. So stay with us. If you guys have not, I do ask that you guys please like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Share it out to your friends. Let them know what we're doing. Josh and I are working really hard to get people on this show that'll come on and entertain you guys like Luigi is, and to sit down with us and have a chat with us, so you guys get to know these wrestlers and have fun just as Josh and I are doing, because Josh and I are having a blast doing this. So we, like I said, greatly appreciate you guys being with us, and would love for you to share it out. Josh, you got anything before we go to break?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. You got the break video?
I do. Let's roll.
All right.
Kansas City has a new name in the pizza game. You Want a Pizza Me is Kansas City's only pro wrestling themed pizza food truck. Located across from the Black Box Theater and the West Bottoms, You Want a Pizza Me is dedicated to serving delicious flame grilled pizzas named in homage to pro wrestling. Come try the High Flyer, El Luchador, Greener Than Grass, and their newest bestseller, The Undertaker. Regular and vegan options are available. They're also dedicated to getting you to eat your healthy vegetables with their selection of salads. Look for the big man in the luchador mask. Follow them at You Want a Pizza Me KC on social media. Kansas City is a top pro wrestling city, and You Want a Pizza Me is your spot for knockout, top of the card pizza. Come get some. Since June 2019, the Peculiar Winery has been open for business in historic Peculiar, Missouri. Owners Chris, Stacy, Perry, and Linda have enjoyed sharing their selection of over 20 handcrafted wines, which are fermented, filtered, and bottled on their 15-acre property. Enjoy their wines, live music, food trucks, and special events throughout the year. But most importantly, have fun and relax. They look forward to serving you. Try their new summer wine, the Burrito, and tell Chris Goff the I-70 Hot Tag sent you.
You know what
Welcome
you know what
back.
you're doing. You know what you're doing over there.
I do every once in a while. Welcome back. We are. It was a interesting new mid-show break video. So hopefully that went through well. I know we had some technical difficulties the last couple weeks playing that, but hopefully that came through well for everybody. For those of you who just sat there and watched it and didn't go take a leak.
User error is what I think it is.
Probably.
So
Would not doubt it.
definitely. Well, our interview with Luigi Primo went fantastic.
Yeah.
Luigi
Super entertaining.
Yes, Luigi is a super entertaining guy. Super fun to watch. I know we've we shared stuff on social media kind of leading up to that interview. I will tell you guys that Luigi spends dough during the match. So when he is like he's had guys that have him in a leg lock and he's spinning dough while he's in that leg lock. So
Yeah. That was like I said, if you go back and listen to one of our first episodes, it might have been our very first episode. We talked about no turning back, and we brought Chris with us, and we talked about how Luigi would get a leg sweep, and he's on his back getting beat up, and he's still spinning the dough.
yeah,
It's good stuff. Go check him out if you guys haven't seen his wrestling matches. Go look him up on YouTube. It's good stuff.
yes, that pizza death match that I was talking about. That was hilarious. I watched that thing like I guess like I don't really it didn't matter to me, but I was supposed to be working, and yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely.
So we got Cape Championship Wrestling. They held a show called Super Show on June 25th down in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I believe this is a promotion partially or fully owned by Marco Stunt down in Cape. So he puts on great shows down there. He was put over by Ryan the Infinite a couple weeks ago. We had him on the show. He couldn't say better things about CCW. So and they put on a hell of a show here for the folks that attended it in Cape.
Absolutely.
So I want to start off. I don't know if you wanted to go ahead, Chase.
I was gonna say the unfortunate news was Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux had flight cancellations, so they weren't able to make the event. But they did post a heartfelt message, also a 4 or 5 minute video explaining the situation and why they weren't able to attend. So very good on them. Very good on them.
Yep. Yeah, it was quite. It was a good video. They both seemed very you know very upset they weren't able to make the show, and rightfully so. This the card looked pretty good, and both of them not being there was probably felt like a letdown for the crowd that was there. But I mean, they had Cheeseburger there, they had the Infinite there, Marco Stunt. I mean, they had a lot of good wrestlers that competed there. Had a title change as well, so it ended up being a great show. So
It
let's
did.
run down this card, man.
Absolutely. Why don't you start it off for us?
Okay. So the first match on this rundown was Austin Lane and Brandon Barbwire had a Iron Man match and put on an absolute clinic. I think they announced CCW announced it was their first ever Iron Man match that they've held in their history. So absolute clinic. They put on a hell of a match. So two guys, I'll be 100% honest with you. Both of those guys are new. Awesome Lane, I have seen wrestle before. Brandon Barbwire, I have not. So both are fairly new to our radar. But from what I've seen, absolute clinic, great Iron Man match, and the first in their history. So good stuff.
Absolutely. Um,
Check that. We got to tell us about the title match, title change actually.
Yes. So the brand new CCW Pure Champion is Cheeseburger after he beat hashtag trending Trent Daniels in a great match.
Yeah, Cheeseburger does some good work.
He does, man.
Is that a microphone you're holding up? I'm sorry. Is that a microphone? What are you holding up to your mouth there? Is that
I don't know. Is it a microphone?
or is it a remote control? I can't tell.
I watch all these YouTube creators put like weird shit up to their mouths, or not like YouTube, TikTok. Those guys
Yeah.
like there's some guys on wrestling TikTok that will put like random shit up to their mouth, and then like one guy uses a marker. So it's
Yeah.
like I saw this microphone, or I saw this remote. It's a remote to
Here.
my monitor.
Let me
Looks
let me
like
pull
a
my
vape.
actual microphone up to my mouth. Out there.
Shut up. Nobody cares.
Anyway, good job on Cheeseburger, guys. We saw him wrestle in Journey Pro. He's been all over the place. Ring of Honor. So he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's down here in CCW now as the Pure Champion. He will be defending that title at their anniversary show at the end of July. We'll cover that a little bit later. So congrats, Cheeseburger.
Absolutely. The Infinite won the first ever CCW Super Show Battle Royal.
Yeah.
I-70 Hot Tag guest from a few weeks ago, Ryan the Infinite.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I got the Infinite on speed dial, so he gave me insider information and told me that we were his favorite podcast, and we were the first people he texted and said, "Hey, I just won this fucking battle royal." So
Nice.
that didn't happen. But
Come on.
it's cool. Yeah.
Never ruin it. Yeah. Congrats to Ryan. Congrats to the Infinite. He is still CC or KCXW has not held a show since he won the Metro Championship, so he's still holding that title. He just won here, so he's a lot of good things going for the Infinite. So congratulations to him, and I think we're gonna be talking about him a lot in the coming months and years. So
Absolutely.
he's one to watch out for.
Hey, I wanted to back up for a second. So Raz says my microphone looks like a vape. This is a humongous fucking vape. If that's the case, it's actually a remote. My job
That was right.
provides me with this. Yeah, this job provides me with this gigantic 32-inch monitor, and it came with a remote. It's not a TV. It specifically says monitor, so computer monitor, but came with a remote. Weird. Anyways, Brody mentioned big vape for a big boy. Brody did not say that. Scott just said that. And I like it. Big vape for a big boy. You're goddamn right. Anyways, Broderick mentioned Hunt Brothers gas station pizza. Hunt Brothers is fucking trash. Fucking trash. There goes any possibility of us getting a Hunt Brothers sponsorship. So, but that's okay. I'm not going to sponsor somebody I don't like, and I don't like Hunt Brothers. So, Casey's is 30 times better than Hunt Brothers, and Casey's is
Talking about
not
Casey's
even.
gas station, right?
Yep, and Casey's isn't even. Obviously, I'm talking about Casey's gas station. I'm definitely not talking about that hot garbage over there in Belton. Fucking $3 pizzas and
Yeah.
shit. No,
Little
definitely not talking
Caesars. Little Caesars is a step above them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we used to go watch pay-per-views over at Kyle's house, and Kyle would be like, $5, guys, and I'll order pizza. And then he'd buy those Casey's pizzas, and I'll be like, I want my $5 back.
Right.
Seth would just straight up bring his own food.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah, congrats to you, Pettit. The next match, Aaron Roberts earned a huge win over Buck Snyder, who made his CCW debut. So big win for Aaron Roberts. And we'll see what this says for Buck making his debut. I'm sure we'll see him traveling around the Missouri area sometime soon. So
absolutely. D&D continued their search for their next recruits, Calvin Aldridge and Leo D, but came up short against the returning LA Hustlers. That was a good match, man.
yeah,
Damn good match.
hell yeah, it was.
So,
I was gonna say Rain Victoria and Zay Washington both retained in two tough matches against former multi-champion and newcomers MDB and Brian Rogers. So Rain and Zay both got the win in their respective matches. So two great matches there.
Awesome. I like it. And then Denzel Rawlings gained revenge over Big Peyton in a tough dog collar match. Yes, dog collar matches are slowly becoming on my list of, or like on my upper on my list of favorite matches. So,
Yeah.
Was not a big dog collar match fan growing up, but since in the past couple years with all the dog collar matches we've seen, I'm starting to like them a little bit more. Plus, you go back and watch a lot of those older ones, Punk, Raven, Piper. They're love dog collar matches now. So
Yeah. Yep. And then, so Marco Stunt, he led his team, which consisted of Walker Hayes and Ken Dang, to victory over the CCW Tag Team Champions, the Crowleys and Hollis Grew. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Sorry, I'm not going to butcher it, which I already did.
yeah, don't butcher it, please.
I already did. Sorry to Hollis. I'm just gonna call you Hollis. So yeah, Marco Stunt. That was his appearance on the show. He will be actually in a match at the anniversary show, which is coming back in July. So, and from what I understand, there was I did read that they are at some point. I don't know if it's. I have to look this up. I don't have it on a rundown. But CCW is going to run a show in Tennessee, and they are going to run it, I believe, in Memphis or Nashville, somewhere right across the state line. So Anyway, you're an idiot. For those of you who can't see, yeah, he's holding a remote to my. If we're gonna do anything, you might as well do the.
Yeah. Well, we can't because
You can do the other way. God damn.
because it cuts off my hand. So we're
The
just
acclaimed. The acclaimed.
yeah, we're fisting. We're not scissoring.
Anyway, welcome to Grindhouse.
Motherfucker.
We're off the rails here, guys. Check out CCW if you're in the Cape Girardeau area, and if you're in Memphis or in Nashville, wherever the hell they're going to be, go check them out. Because Missouri,
Absolutely.
if you guys don't know, Missouri has a very strict policy with the athletic commission on what there's a fucking ginormous hoops you have to jump through to be able to compete in Missouri. You have to send in blood work. You have to have to have a physical every so often. It's just such a pain to be able to run shows in Missouri. And when you're like, CCW, Glory Pro, when you're Journey Pro, when you're running in Missouri, it is a very tough thing to do. And they do a fantastic job, all three of those. So, yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. Does that
That does it for CCW.
that concludes our CCW Super Show?
Yep.
I think your wife is making fun of me and my microphone.
Yeah, your controller, your remote control.
This is the microphone, sir.
No.
My
Tell
headset doesn't have
Tell us about our future indie shows. What's coming up?
Absolutely. So later down the road, on July 8th, you're going to see New Breed Wrestling in Missouri. New Breed runs in Central Missouri. One of the newer ones that we just found out about. So we are excited to cover them and find out what they're about and find out what else they got going on. Then on July 24th, you're going to see Glory Pro presents St. Louis Vice, as you saw on the graphic during the intermission. Ethan Page is going to fight Warhorse, and then Mike Bennett, who's one of my favorite independent professional wrestlers, is going to fight Camaro Jackson, the Quad Father, who's also one of my favorite independent professional wrestlers.
That's gonna be a hell of a match.
He spent too much on his camera to be able to afford the microphone to go with it. Actually, Scotty, my camera is my cell phone. I turned my cell phone into a camera. So, but yes, I spent way too much money on it. Anyways, on July 30th, we have CCW Cape Championship Wrestling again with their anniversary. You're going to see Marco Stunt. You're going to see Jake Something and Cheeseburger all in action. I do want to remind you guys that it is fantastic that Jake Something about 6 months to a year ago was highly sought out by WWE. And I don't know if something happened. There's nothing that I've heard or read, but Jake Something is making the rounds on the indie scene and is doing a fantastic job with it. So, on August 27th,
CSW is coming to town for running another show.
Absolutely. So, for those that saw our coverage on CSW's last show, CSW brought in a Steel to face off against Jeremy Wyatt, and there was some foolery that happened with that match. So Ace Steel went out and happened to talk to somebody else who works in AEW with him, named Arn Anderson, the Enforcer. And Arn Anderson is going to lend his son Brock Anderson to Ace Steel, and they are going to face off with Jeremy Wyatt and Vic Capri at this Horseman Country show that they're putting on. So very, very excited to see. It's the Four Horsemen, not 3.5 or 3.25.
This is the good.
Anyways,
This is the good one.
okay. The pinky kind of looked like it. So that's why. Anyways, who is this Webb Anderson guy? I've never heard of him. I said Arn Anderson.
Yeah. Arn Anderson, Four Horsemen. Brock Anderson, his son.
Brock Anderson. Absolutely. So who is this Arn Anderson guy? You've never heard of Arn Anderson?
Sure.
Yeah. You guys get cable down there? Anyways, so that is our future indie shows. Josh, why don't you talk about
Yeah, before we move on, I do want to say that I'm sure that if you guys didn't know already, we had on the rundown a couple weeks ago that we were going to cover Journey Pro, and their event got canceled. And I'm sure whether or not it was an air conditioning issue in Angus. Hopefully they get that fixed and rectified fairly quickly, so they can maybe have a July show. So I'm assuming sometime in the next couple weeks we'll be able to hear something about their next upcoming show, because they do put on fantastic shows. So hopefully Journey will get a July show. If not, we can probably expect something in August. So
absolutely.
Just got Brad. But our next show next week, July 7th. We've been trying to get this man on for since we started this. Honestly, we ran into him at our very first CSW show. He has been asking to be a Howlet for over 50 days now. And I think at that time it'll be probably close to 60, 61 days roughly. I'm not sure the exact date, but we'll promote that up when it comes to it. And we're going to have none other than Mighty Micah on the show next week. Super excited about that. Micah is Micah's a great, formerly part of the Thumbs and Buns with Jay Fowler. He's been in a few matches in CSW as well. And now he's, like I said, been asking Hoodie and Anaya to be a Howlet, and he was supposed to get an answer at Journey Pro, which didn't happen. So the asking continues.
I don't know if you saw it or not, but the Howlets wound up working a different event that night. They were in Colorado, and they posted a video to Micah on Twitter telling him, like, hey, we know you were supposed to get an event, or we know you were supposed to get an answer, but Journey Pro got canceled, so we're going to keep our promise. We're going to give you an answer. And they told him, they said, we're going to let you be a Howlet. However, you got to make it here in Colorado by the time we're done with this event. And they sent him this message. They posted this message on Twitter at like 6 p.m. And they're like, it was like 7:30 or something like that. And they were like, if you can get here by 9 o'clock, then you can be a Howlet. So hurry up, buddy. And it's great. You go find it. It's hilarious. But I felt bad for the poor guy. I was like, man. So
that's awesome. No, I did not see that. Yeah, I'll have to go check that out.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, we're gonna have a huge blast talking to Micah next week. Super excited about that. Man, Mighty Micah on next week's episode, huh?
Yeah, should be good stuff. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be great stuff, because I did mention to Mark last night that we had a big announcement coming up. We're not going to announce it tonight because we are still ironing out details, guys. But next week on the I-70 Hot Tag, we have a huge announcement. It's big. It's really big. So if you guys are watching this, if you guys are listening to this, you're gonna want to tune in live next week. We're gonna announce it right when we come back from our break after our Mighty Micah interview. So the same way we've been doing our interviews at the beginning of the show, and then we take 5 minute intermission after the break, or I mean after the interview. So after that 5 minute intermission, you guys are going to want to be here. You're going to want to stay because we're going to have a huge announcement for you guys. I'm very excited for the I-70 Hot Tag. Josh and I, Josh and I have been busting our asses with this, and this is kind of our baby. So Chase is not getting titty slapped yet.
Not yet. It's gonna happen,
Chase,
but not yet.
yeah, Chase would not be excited for that. So this is exciting. So
yeah, it is. It's very exciting, guys. Yeah, just
but like I said, Josh and I have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort on this I-70 Hot Tag and CR Media and everything, and this is cool. This is going to be this is huge for him and I. We're very excited about this. So yeah, yep, definitely.
Yeah, it should be. Just check us out, guys, next week. Right after like Chase said, right after the interview. Trust me, Raz, I'm just as excited as you are to see that, and it's going to happen. I'm telling you, whether or not it's from our boy Moonshine Mantel or not, it's gonna. Somebody's gonna chop Chase.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I can find somebody that'd be like, yeah, I'll chop him.
Yeah. If it has to be me, it'll be me, but somebody's gonna chop you. Anyway, guys, yeah, it's gonna be it'll be good stuff next week. Tune in 8:30 p.m. same time as always. So, yeah, big announcement.
All right, is that it?
I believe so.
Is that all we got tonight? Good. We are at an hour and 17 minutes, my friend. I don't hate it. All right, guys. To close us out with the social medias, Scott, appreciate the compliment, man. Appreciate you as always. Much love, dude. Appreciate you coming through and talking about Missouri wrestling with us, and you have no ties to Missouri at all. I love it, man. So, as usual, guys, if you have not, would appreciate you giving a follow on the social medias. You can find CR Media on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Like I said, go hit the like button, go hit the share button. And then, Josh, please let everybody know where they can find you as well.
Yep, we're at the I-70 Hot Tag on all the social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, also on YouTube. So give us a follow there. Don't worry about following my personal. Just follow the I-70 Hot Tag and follow CR Media 1988.
Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, as usual, we will see you next week. My name is Chase. This is my friend Josh, and good fight and good night.